That's wild. That's wild. We're live. All I can hear is someone crying in the background. I can't even hear you. Welcome to the weekly wrap.
Babe, we're live. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Oh boy.
I'm just gonna mute this for a second, and I'm gonna introduce everyone. I've just muted John, so welcome to the round 11 weekly wrap. We're here. John's muted, so don't worry about him. GT23 is cracking up laughing that John is muted. He's muted, GT. I can hear you, but no one else can. I've put John in timeout, HFD says. They've definitely put him in timeout. Let's bring him back. Let's bring him back. Welcome to the weekly wrap. We got John back and all of his soundboard.
Am I back?
You're back. You're back now.
Hey, I'm back.
Here. We're here to talk about the week. The most important thing we'll start with is Man United. But you know, I've got it in the description. I've put that VAR as disgrace. Even though Man United won, we're going to talk about it. There was an absolutely farcical decision in that United game. I think, anyway. We'll see what John thinks. He was...
Am I frozen?
You're frozen a bit there. Oh, no. You have frozen.
I can see myself frozen.
John's frozen. I don't know what's going on.
Oh my God.
Why is it frozen? Why'd you freeze, man?
I don't know. Just keep the show going. Can I come back in the call?
Yeah, go and come back.
I'll come back.
All right. All right, guys. John is going to leave that call. So you're seeing double of me right now, but John is going to re-enter that. Let me get this. Hopefully John re-enters that and it's all good. Am I frozen? I'm not frozen. We love the we love the technical difficulties, but if everyone can hear me, I think everyone can hear me. John froze, so he had to leave the call and come back. Don't know what happened. So as long as you can hear me. Technical difficulties. Listen, can you see me? All right. John has frozen, so he's had to leave the call and he will come back. Don't know what's going on. As long as you can hear me for now, that's good. But we're here to do the weekly wrap. I might just get this square of mine. John is definitely wild. John's coming back in now. I can see him come back in. He's not frozen anymore. He can move. I can see him. I reckon he's actually in his front room too.
Yeah, I've escaped the kids' wrath and I've gone to my retreat room.
There we go, guys. He's gone to his retreat room.
Which is a mess.
Doesn't matter. It looks good. Few people laughing. Technical difficulties. Toby says hi, Chris CKP. Team drop ball strikes again. Chris reckons. But don't worry about that.
Why team drop ball, man?
We're here. Round 11, weekly wrap. Like I was saying before John froze on me, I've put it in the description. Captain Marvel. He stood up as captain. Everyone's been drilling Bruno. I want to give you a stat. That was Bruno's 200th game.
Was it?
66 goals, 55 assists from midfield.
I heard
we've got fans that are drilling him. We've got fans that are drilling him. You hearing that stat?
I heard Roy Keane said he's not a captain.
I don't care if he's not a captain, whatever that is. I don't know how. What do you judge a captain? How does he know? I don't listen. Roy Keane's probably the best captain in Premier League history, but how does he know Bruno's not a captain? He's not there. And,
I mean, if Bruno's not a captain, who is a captain there?
But like I said, 200 games, 66 goals, 55 assists. So that's more than a goal or an assist every 2 games. From midfield, listen, say about that what you will, but the other thing we'll touch on, we're going to talk about Man United first. I'll bring up the results here. So the results, United obviously won 1-0 against Fulham. That's the first game we're going to talk about, and I've put it in the description that should VAR be in football? This is the first question that we're going to talk about. In the United game, in my opinion, there was a farcical decision in the 3rd minute or 8th minute to disallow a goal. What's your take on the whole game? The VAR decision, United winning. I want to hear all this.
Well, it's the first time I've ever heard subject to offside. I feel like it was made up on the spot there. It looked like the defender just barged into Maguire as well and impeded him, really. Look, we all know Maguire was in an offside position. I don't think he impacted the play at all. I've seen way worse in the past.
What about the Man City one that Reborn put in our Discord when Akanji was in an offside position in front of the keeper by a meter, and it went in, and they go, no, he wasn't impacted. But with United, Liverpool, Arsenal, we're going to talk about, they just get robbed.
And you can tell it was a poor decision because it took like 5 minutes or so to come up with the decision. And you could tell they were 50-50. But, whatever happened to giving the attacking play the benefit of the doubt, you know what I mean? And that was a clear instant where they should have given the benefit of the doubt to the attacking team. United got ripped off there. And, it could have cost us the game. We, go up 1-0 in the 9th minute. That could have been an easier game for United to play on the counter, get some open spaces going. They could have gone on to have 2-3-0. But, poor decision. I think VAR having a mare every weekend, man, is always every weekend there's a bad decision with VAR. And I reckon scrap it, man. I reckon it should be just – I thought it should be just for offside, but even that's getting wrong now. So, yeah.
Yeah, listen, I 100% agree. Rob has written in the chat there, VAR should go bye-bye. And I totally agree. How I've always said they always go on there, they get that bloke, what's his name? He tries to be a professor, Dermot Gallagher. He goes on there and talks. And he's like, oh, but my referees, they've gone with it. I'm going to back their decision. They always go on there every week and they say, offside is not subjective. They're their exact words. They go, you're either onside or you're offside. And then they turn around and go, oh, it's the referee's call. It's a subjective offside. What the fuck? Mind the language. I can't believe that. The fact that United ended up winning, made it better, but for the whole football community, that's a fucking joke, man. Like,
It's just you don't want to see. You don't want to have the stop of play of that long as well. You know what I mean?
no
And
way.
I
No
was just
way.
sitting there thinking the whole time that surely not they're not going to overturn this. It's a clear onside goal, and they managed to call it offside.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Listen, we're going to talk about the Arsenal one. What the Arsenal one, the VAR decision, it was Joe Linton. I mean, we'll talk about it. Like, he jumps and he pushes Gabriel, like, with two hands in his back, and they just allow it. Don't give it a foul, nothing. And, like, listen, I mean, I know Rob might not like me saying this, but it seems like Liverpool have had bad decisions. Man United, Arsenal, Brighton last year. Seems like the only club that doesn't get bad decisions are City. And, they got these, but it's true, they got these 133, fucking things against them. And they're talking about docking Everton points for FIFA Fair Play, but City, and nothing's happening to them. And then they get a goal like that I said earlier in the year allowed with them. Mate, I'm not saying it's bad, but, like, that starts to look sus. Do you know what I mean?
City have the best lawyers in the world, man. They got the cash, and they're... by the time there's a decision on those 115 charges, it'll be like 10, 20 years down the track. So
Yeah, see, Rob even said this. He goes, you realise that at which point the frame is frozen could mean half a metre because of how quick a ball moves. Trying to judge exactly when the boot struck the pass is ridiculous. Because I was saying, have they even frozen it when Eriksen's kicked it? Like, does the rule say when he kicks it, when it leaves the boot, like when the impact, like, it's... Mate, Chris C says, good to see Johnny back on a HFD live. It is. But, too bad when we're...
Had to skip the kids.
Yeah. But in saying that, United got the win. Bruno, I think, captain's performance.
Yeah.
And in saying that, like, we're missing... Wan-Bissaka played his first game. So we've had no Wan-Bissaka, no Martinez, no Varane, no Luke Shaw. De Gea's been replaced, no Casemiro. The way I look at it is if Arsenal were missing Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, Rice, would they be doing as good?
No, 100%. They'll be, there won't be as much points as they got. And in saying that, are we 6 points behind them now? Or
Well, yeah, something like that. This is the thing I wanted to touch on. I said to John before we went live, I said, I've got a point that I want to make that, last week, I think I was having a bit of an argument with Johnny Carlton, and I was saying that the pressure at Man United is completely different to every other club. And this is the point I want to put forward to it. So, Aston Villa, right? We'll bring up I'll bring those up so we can see it. Aston Villa, right? We're going to talk about it. But Aston Villa lost to Nottingham Forest, right? Man United beat Nottingham Forest and copped it for it. Aston Villa lost to them. Man United beat Wolves and copped it for it. Man City lost to Wolves. Right? So the only teams really, when we look at it, that who've United lost to? We've lost to Arsenal, who are meant to be a title contender. Man City, who are the best team in Europe. We lost to Brighton. Okay, you know what I mean? But Newcastle just beat Arsenal. No one cares. But when United, we've beaten teams that we've copped it for it, and then those teams have gone on to beat Man City, beat these other teams, and no one cares. So it shows you the pressure at United. If anyone remembers me saying that last week.
Look, in saying all that, to be fair, United have been playing poor this year, and
I'm not saying they haven't.
We definitely haven't lit the tree up at all. Like with that game, I feel like we controlled the game. We had possession, but I feel like we did nothing with the possession against Fulham.
Yeah, I agree.
For some reason, like we seem so slow in transition. Not even in transition, just passing the ball from the back. I mean, raise your point about injuries. I don't think Ten Hag can play that possession, quick play from the back with Evans and Maguire.
No way.
And who's our left back at the moment?
He played Delo against Fulham.
Yeah, I think even Lindelof playing. You know what I mean? So you got these clunky centre backs trying to play quick. It's just not working that way for Ten Hag. So I think once he gets his full squad back, I'm hoping he can play a bit more style that he wants to play. But at the moment, it's hard to watch. But it's maybe we go on a roll from here. We'll see.
Well, they've been talking about all this player power recently, and as you know, they've been saying about sacking Eric Ten Hag and shit like that. And you know what I reckon? I know people might not agree with this. You know what would put the players in line, I think? If the club turned around and gave Eric Ten Hag a contract. Because then those players that are against him, they're like, oh, wait a second. We've either got to play for him or we're fucked because the club have backed him.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Give him a contract. And then these guys that are not with him, they're either going to say, well, we want a transfer request or we're going to have to play for him. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. I'll read a few of these chats. Welcome to being top of the table, KP. Man City suffered these bad decisions for years. Referees subconsciously favour top teams 90%. Luton ripped off also this year several times. Listen, you can't say welcome to the top of the table to United fans. We were top of the table for 20 years recently, but even then, I mean, we got decisions that went for us. I get it. But there was no VAR, so I disagree with that because you can't go... That Man City one that I'm talking about with Haaland, they looked at it on camera. And Akanji was a metre offside in front of the goalkeeper. So, but yeah, I don't know. Was Rashford left out of the squad? No, he was injured. He pulled up in the warm-up. And Maguire's playing because Varane has been ill. There's been... So Lindelof was out sick. Varane was on the bench, but he's sick. So there's been also an injury crisis.
I think there's also a rumour of Rashford having a party.
Yeah, he went out the night after the Manchester derby.
Okay.
And apparently Ten Hag wasn't, but he admitted it. He goes, he told it. He goes, I didn't like it. He goes, but he would have started if he was fit. He said it in his press conference. So, but whatever. It is what it is. It's United back to winning ways, but we'll go to a few other results now, man. I'll bring them up. So, I mean, Man City 6-1. Like, did anyone think anything different against Bournemouth? I didn't.
Was that the final result?
6-1.
I heard, and in that 6-1, Alvarez and Haaland didn't get an assist or a goal.
Haaland went off injured. And
did he?
I think Doku, is that his name? Doku, the new bloke?
I'll go Goku, man. Goku's way better.
Yeah, so Goku got a goal. He should have had another goal. It got given to Akanji. It was a deflection. Yeah. He got given as an assist. So he got a goal and I think 5 assists or 4 assists or something like that.
So, man, they find players, don't they? So you've got to give it to their scouting team, really.
Yeah. Rob says the 2 goals in the Carabao Cup was Maguire's fault. He stood back and didn't challenge. They did say that, yeah. Especially the third one. I think he just backed off him for 30 metres or something, I think. So, but that's
Harry's our talisman, man. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Man City, 6-1. It's just...
They're still doing Man City things.
Well, after the result that we're going to talk about later, the Liverpool result last night, mate, and I mean, if Tottenham are up there, listen, they might win, they might go back top, but mate, I don't see anyone challenging City, eh? Because City are not going to Luton and drawing. I don't...
If anyone ever tells me Tottenham's in the title race, I laugh my head off.
I know they're not. I don't think they are. I agree. Yeah. I don't think they are. They're in the top 4 race.
They've played 10 good games. Let's see them play another 28 good games. That's the question for Tottenham.
Listen, they're in the top 4 race, but they're not in the title race. No, I agree with that. That's.
I think Man United could still finish above Tottenham.
Yeah, well, listen, we're not going to talk about. Well, listen, we're not going to talk about their match tonight because they didn't play. But if they lose Son or Maddison, or Mickey van der Ven, they're in trouble. That's what I think. But to the next result. This one is the one that shocked me, man. And last year, Everton actually beat Brighton 5-0, which shocked everyone. But Everton got a draw against Brighton again this year. 1-1.
Yeah,
big result for Everton, 1-1. Has to be.
Sean Dyche has always have a history of being hard to beat. So he's getting that with Everton at the moment. So I think he only joined them last year, mid last year.
After, who did he take over from? He took over...
it wasn't Ancelotti or someone else that came in after.
Yeah.
Was it Rodgers? No.
Did he get the job from Lampard? Directly from Lampard? He might have.
I reckon Lampard took over for a little bit and did even worse.
No, that was Chelsea. But Lampard was Everton manager at the start of the year, and I reckon Dyche took over for him. And then Lampard took over Chelsea for the last after Potter.
Lampard, man. Has he done any good manager stint? But anyway,
With Derby, that was it. But it wasn't that good anyway.
yeah. So look, Sean Dyche is playing his type of football, hard to beat, and yeah, I mean Brighton. Yeah, probably lost 2 points there. You expect them to win that game?
Well, actually, the results all went United's way. Like Newcastle, Arsenal, it didn't really matter. They're both above us, and that went that way. Liverpool drew to Luton, which you never like. No one got good tips this week. I don't care. No one's telling me they got good tips.
Well, I think I tipped Fulham to win, and I'm a Man United fan.
Why would you do that?
Because we've been playing terrible, man.
Rob says squad depth says it all. December will separate them. Brighton, Villa, West Ham all suffered too much Europe strain already. I agree because their squads are not big enough. I think Unai Emery has targeted a European trophy. Happy to finish mid-table. Yeah, listen, they were flying up until this week. So, but yeah, good result for Everton. Pretty bad result for Brighton, as you've said. This one, I don't know, man. I tipped Wolves. Sheffield United got a win at home against Wolves. I thought Wolves were playing real good. 2-1.
I think I tipped Wolves as well, man. So, yeah, Sheffield United, there you go. Big result.
Huge result. They got to win those games, don't they? The teams down there have got to win their home games, don't they? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, Luton picked up an unexpected point. You'll mention that soon, I think.
We're going to talk about it. Oh, I've got to talk about that. What a point. So, Chris says Spurs will beat Chelsea. Do you know what? I've actually tipped Chelsea. I don't know why.
Tipped Chelsea too. Chelsea too.
I don't know why. I think away from Stamford Bridge, there's a lot of pressure on them at home. I don't know. I don't know. Don't know why. But we'll see. All right. We'll talk about this one because I want to bag the VAR a bit again. And John already said he didn't see it. He knows the result. So Newcastle beat Arsenal 1-0. Before I go on, I'm going to go on what Chris just wrote. We love pressure. Chris, the fact that you're saying we love pressure proves you're not a real Tottenham fan. Because Tottenham have buckled under pressure for 100 years. So don't give me we love pressure.
Can Chris mention 4 players for the team?
Yeah, they've been known as the perennial bottlers. That's like their thing. So don't give me that. At least just say, oh, we're playing good. Don't say we love pressure. But back to it. Newcastle beat Arsenal. Another farcical decision, man. Like, Joel Linton is 6'4", puts 2 hands in the back of Gabriel like this, full 2 hands, and jumps up, headers the ball down for Gabriel. Gabriel goes down, and then Gordon scores. How that goal's not disallowed, I don't know. Because as a striker, I know you go up, you don't put your hands in the back, you go up like this, try and get a bit. If you push in the back, there's always a foul. Always. I don't know. Chris says history is about to change. History can never be changed, Chris. You're going to write a new chapter. You can't change the past.
Everywhere on Twitter, they reckon the ball was out of play before the cross even came.
It was. I reckon the ball went out, and then there was a foul. It was 2, shocking decisions, bro. And I mean, in the past, when things like this would happen, we laugh at the opposition because it was a human error. But now, when that offside happened to Liverpool, the thing with McTominay the other day, this one with Arsenal, and United have had some other bad ones this year against us as well. And so have, like Rob said, Luton. You don't laugh at the other teams anymore because it's actual VAR. They're watching it and getting it wrong. It's ruining football, man.
Yeah.
When you watch a game, you said it before, we scored, right? Me and you, we message each other every Man United game. I was losing it. And then we were just sitting there messaging each other going, this is a fucking joke, this fuck, rah, rah, rah. And then 5 minutes, you're taking the joy out of the game.
Yeah, 100%.
As a player, how do you go celebrate when you score a goal now?
It's when Bruno scored the winner. I was worried that VAR was going to take it away from us.
Well, you sent me a message going, don't celebrate, man. They're going to take it away. And I'm like, no, fucking well, I'm losing it. So, Dan's put the upset face. Who's the bloke on the right, he reckons?
Hey, yeah, what's up, bro?
It's Dan. Dan's saying, we'll give Dan a bit of a damn. Yeah, so, I mean, well, the future will be different. Well, that's fine. That's fine. They can rewrite a new chapter, but you can never change history, man. Tottenham are Tottenham.
Yeah, man.
That's it, man. Chris has made me hate Tottenham more, man. I don't even like Ange Postecoglou anymore.
Chris does that to you. It's like the Chris effect. He makes you hate teams.
I told Chris goes to me, he goes, aren't you happy for Ange? I go, yeah, I was happy the minute until they went on top of Man United. I go, the second they're on top of Man United, I go, fuck Ange. I don't care about it. Like, I don't even remember that he's Australian or Greek anymore.
Where did Chris pull out Tottenham anyway? Like, where is it?
Andrea, his dad is an actual Tottenham fan.
Okay.
He's full Tottenham fan.
All right.
Chris said Ange is the best. I've been hearing a bit too much of that lately too, man, that he's the best.
I let Jimmy T go because he just loves Ange, you know what I mean?
He just loves Ange. It's his child, so.
Child, yeah.
I've been hearing too much of this, what Chris said. Ange is the best. So just settle down. Settle down.
No, man. Port got kicked out in straight sets, man.
All right. Bring us to the next one. So, I mean, farcical decision, like we said, but
Yeah,
it was just crap.
I feel like all my teams get bad decisions with some sort of VAR or some sort of.
Well, the Crows and United have copped it.
You know what I mean? I'm getting ripped off this year, man.
Yeah, they have. They have definitely.
How come Man United don't get penalties anymore? Everyone's getting penalties except for Man United.
I know, like Liverpool didn't get any penalties, and then Klopp came out. This is actual factual. He came out in the media and said Liverpool don't get any penalties, and then he got like 3 penalties in a row. He's had 3 penalties since that comment. So you're telling me that the referees it's not playing on them?
Yeah, mind games at the best, man. You know what I mean?
Of course, man. Of course. So terrible. But to the next result, Burnley, good old Vincent Kompany, gets done at home 2-0 by Palace. I said this early on. I think all 3 teams that come up are going down. I don't know what's wrong with them. They're bad. They smashed the championship last year, like by canter, and they're terrible, man.
They
lost 2-0.
When it comes to the point where you sack Kompany, you know, even though he did so well in the championship, when do you pull the trigger like, okay, we're going in one direction, we're going down, we have to save this season earlier on than later? Or do you just roll the dice with Kompany and give him the opportunity to see it through, or would you cut your losses and get a manager in to stay up? You know, like a Sam Allardyce even or something like that. I don't know.
Well, it depends. There's some clubs, like I remember, I think it was Norwich or like Huddersfield a couple of years ago. Huddersfield, their goal was not to stay in the Premier League. They got there, they lived it up, but they sort of knew they didn't have anything to be able to stay there. So they kept their manager and just went down. Yeah. Norwich did it, I think, with Daniel Farke. Is Burnley's goal to stay in the league, or is it, listen, we're going to go back to the championship, win another title? I don't know. If their goal's to stay in the league, I think they've got to roll. They got to cut him and go for someone that's going to get them points.
They've been in the Premier League quite a bit in the past 10 years, I think.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if that's their goal, they want to stay there again. Like, they've only been down 1 year. They had Sean Dyche.
Yeah, Sean Dyche was. He kept them up for quite a long time.
Heaps, man, like 6-7 years. So
yeah, so they'll have a bit of money in the bank of all that. So I don't think they're a poor club, but I reckon their aim is to stay up.
They're not cut him.
Yeah, so
Rob says there was an after disposal elbow to the head that went unpunished. Which game was that? I don't remember. Was that could have been in the United game too? When did it Maguire? Because Maguire almost got concussed in the first second.
Yeah, no, I think it was.
But I don't think it was intentional. It was an accident. No, I'm saying, yeah. And then he says Burnley are just awful. It's not the coach. Yeah, I don't know, because I think he's still trying to play the way that got him up, and it's not working in the Premier League. Burnley players are making basic mistakes all over the park, Rob says. And Dan says, is Kompany a coach now? Well, he's portraying a coach, but he's not getting any points. So
he actually did really well in the championship, but not doing good in the Premier League. I actually tipped Burnley for some strange reason, and that backfired.
Do you know, I tipped them, right? And then I went and changed it. I just was like, you know what? They're shit. And I went and changed it to Crystal Palace. But I did go with them. I thought they've got to get a win. If they can beat anyone, it's going to be Palace at home.
Palace got some good players in their squad. So
they do, man. Palace are a good team. I think Palace, again, have got to do what they did previously when they brought Vieira in. And they went for more, because they got Elise, they got Eze, they got some good players. But now they've gone back to Roy Hodgson again, not playing the expansive way. I think they've got to cut from that again. And
Well, they got the
Dan
England
says, is that the
centre-back.
Man City player? That is the Man City player, Dan. Yeah, Gay. He's good too.
Yeah, England centre-backs are not bad. I think Man United want him, so hopefully we get him.
So when he comes to us, he'll be crap.
Just so Jim's going to open his checkbook up, apparently. So.
When he comes to us, he'll be terrible.
Yeah, we could get Mbappe, and it would just look like...
he'd be the worst player in... He'd be the Mbappe. He'd be the worst player in Premier League history if he came to us.
Yes.
We bought Alexis Sanchez, who was the best player in the league, and he was just terrible.
Oh, my God. I couldn't wait for any more... I couldn't wait for Sanchez to leave our club, and I was so excited for him to come to our club. I'm like, oh, my God.
I know, man. It was so bad. But
We're just career killers. We're honestly career killers, man.
Poison chalice, man. I always say it to you.
Mm.
All right, let's bring the next one up. So this one was actually a cracker game. Brentford beat West Ham 3-2. Brentford in some good form. West Ham have also been in good form. So they're the games you want to watch. You know, as a neutral, you're watching 3-2s. Brentford took the lead. West Ham equalised, and they took the lead. Then Brentford come back. It was a good game. No VAR, farcical decisions, which made it even better. So...
Gonna give it to Brentford, you know, when they first come up, was it last year they first come up?
I think was that their first year? Was last year? Yep.
Yeah, you know, they've been impressive ever since they've been in the Premier League. So, you know, most people thought they'll go down as soon as they came up, and they're doing really well, even without Ivan Toney as well, who has been linked to Man United, by the way. But look, Brentford. I do like their left back Henry. He's a good player.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
And they got some good players, Brentford. So
well, I was going to touch on exactly what you touched on. They're doing that all without their striker.
Yeah.
And apparently, they said yesterday they've put 80 million on him.
Oh, jeez.
80 million, man.
That's a joke. And 50's fair, man. Like, he hasn't played for 6 months or more.
Yeah.
I know.
Chris C says, who's Captain Marvel? Are you saying in regards to the thumbnail? Because the thumbnail, Bruno, anyone can be Captain Marvel, but the actual player that his nickname is Captain Marvel is Brian Robson. He was captain of Man United and England, longest serving England captain in history, I think. But the thumbnail Captain Marvel is in regards to Bruno's performance on the weekend. But the real Captain Marvel is Brian Robson. No one could ever take that from him. But yeah, great game. Brentford doing well. West Ham, I don't think it's a big setback for them. They're doing well. They're in Europe. Moyes has got them. Moyes is doing all right, I think, you know.
Mid-table club.
Well, I think the guy that scored is like, he's the one they got from Ajax, and he almost scored a second one. Is it Kudos? He looked good, man. He looked real good. Brentford's third season, Rob said. So this last year was their second season. Yeah. So yeah, they're doing well. They're doing real well. This takes us on to last night, and I already touched on this. So I said, Man United copped it for being 2-0 down to Nottingham Forest and beating them. Aston Villa have lost to Nottingham Forest 2-0. No one cares. But Villa, no one's telling me they tipped Nottingham Forest.
Was Villa at home?
No.
They're away.
Is at the City ground, but 2-0 to Forest. Emery wouldn't have liked that.
No. Was Elanga involved?
Elanga was. He's played well. I was watching. He's playing well. He's playing well.
Yeah, good on Nottingham Forest. I've always had a soft spot for them, you know, since they've come up. You always hope they did all right. The Olympiacos owner owns them as well.
I know, that's why Olympiacos are Hess now.
Yeah, that's all right.
He doesn't care about Olympiacos anymore. He only cares about Nottingham Forest.
But Villa, that's a good, you know, we need Villa to drop down a bit so we can take their spot. So good result for Man United. And, so Emery, bit of a setback for him.
Poor Count Dracula, man.
He does look like Count Dracula, doesn't he?
He does. He's Count Dracula. Chris says, doesn't Aston Villa care? Now, I don't think that they don't care. I think Rob hit the nail on the head a bit earlier. West Ham, Villa, Brighton, these teams that don't have huge squads and they make Europe, it's hard for them, man. He's got a European game in a couple of days, you know, and they just don't have big squads like your City, Liverpool, even United. Like we've just got bigger squads. Arsenal. Yeah. Chris says Olympiacos are yes, and Ajax are the best. Oh, Ajax, terrible.
I don't think there's one team me and Chris go for together. It might be Australia. We like Australia.
Doesn't he go for Chicago Bulls?
No, he goes. I don't know. He goes in the basketball.
I think he goes for Bulls, or I bet you he goes for Detroit just to piss us off.
Yeah, go for
I
some
bet you
crap team.
I bet he goes for the rival. He goes for Detroit Pistons. I know it. Rob says Elanga played well. Martinez howler for the second goal. Yeah. Well, his head's big from winning the Golden Glove, whatever he won at the Ballon d'Or Awards. So he's,
Well, I thought he's been having a good season so far. I've seen some highlights of him pulling off some good saves this season.
Yeah,
as well.
he's good. Chris just said he goes for Detroit Pistons, 100%.
Of course it does.
Oh, man, that's terrible, man. Chris goes for the worst teams, doesn't he?
He goes for everyone I hate.
But he goes for Ajax, hate them. He goes for Tottenham, hate him. He goes for Power, hate him. He goes for Detroit, hate him, bro. Who does he go in the NFL? Who does he go? I don't even go for anyone. I bet you I don't like him.
He goes for Buffalo Bills in the NFL. I'm San Francisco.
I like the sound of San Francisco, man.
Yeah, let's go, man. We hate Chris.
I don't go for anyone in NFL, to be fair, but yeah. So that's a huge result for Nottingham Forest. Listen, they're again a team that will be fighting relegation and that, but I think they'll stay up. Their Blake Irwin lookalike manager, as Rob says, that's always stoned.
Cooper.
He finds the result. He looks up Blake, bro.
Even Rob says he looks stoned all the time.
Yes, I said it. He's always looks stoned. He gets results.
And they love him over there, man. They love him.
They love him.
Well,
you know what happened? They did last year what I was saying about Eric Ten Hag. They were saying the players were turning against him last year, and he'd lost like 10 games in a row.
Yeah.
And Nottingham Forest gave him a contract. And then everything turned the other way because players realised, wait a second, the coach isn't going anywhere. Like if you turn around now and give, like I said, Ten Hag a contract, Sancho has got to either say sorry or know he's leaving in January, doesn't he?
That's 100%.
So yeah, it worked for them. I think it could work for them. Go for the same teams would not be normal, Chris C says. Now, but who doesn't go for Chicago Bulls from our era, man?
Well, me and Karen don't go for every team. Like we've got different ones in the Cyprian League. So
John goes for the worst Cypriot team. I'm only our second now. Don't worry. I'll Hess. They're fourth. They're lame. New Orleans GT goes for the New Orleans Pelicans because of me, because I call people Pelicans. So I like that one. That's good, GT. They're my second team, GT.
He loves Zion.
Yeah, Zion's wild. So they're my second team. Don't worry. But this brings us to I reckon this was the shock result of the round. Like, Arsenal could always lose to Newcastle. Like, these things could have happened. Like, this result, bring it up on the screen. Luton won, Liverpool won. And
I believe Luton were winning.
Yes, they were. It was both goals in the last 7 minutes or something.
Wow. So, look, yeah, man, I think Luton was always going to, snatch a point off a big squad, a big team, or even beat a big team. So they did it against Liverpool, and I've still got the faith in them staying up, and I'm like the little guys. I've always gone for the little guys in that regard.
I like Luton. So Chris says if it wasn't for Jordan, no one would go for the Bulls. Yeah, but that's the same with every team. If it wasn't for Eric Cantona, you know how many people wouldn't go for Man United? That's the whole point of sports.
Yeah, man. Michael Jordan made me love Bulls, man. I was a kid.
The best, man. Exactly. Hi, KP, Johnny G, and everyone on the live chat. Hey, Zakal. Big Zakal.
Hey, Zakal, what's up?
Rob says, man. He's the best, man. Rob says, so is the EPL that much tougher given Bellingham's goal rush, Kane's goal rush?
How good is Bellingham, man?
Well, that's what Rob is saying. He's saying all these players, Kane, Bellingham, Guirassy, that one you said in the Bundesliga, Lukaku, scoring goals for fun. And the only one that really does it in the Premier League is Haaland, and they're the best team in the world. Is the Premier League is the toughest league in the world, isn't it?
I think Premier League is the league. You know what I mean? I think I think La Liga's really been nerfed a lot the last few seasons.
Yeah.
And I think Italian league is even better than the Spanish league right now. I think there's a lot more quality players in the Italian league.
Well, if you look, I always say look to the Champions League. The last 4 teams in the Champions League was Man City, AC Milan, Inter Milan, so 2 Italian teams. And who was the other one that they beat? That Man City beat? I can't remember who they beat. I don't think it was a Spanish team.
I mean, bar Real Madrid, who got some quality players. Barcelona. They've gone down a little bit. I mean, Lewandowski's good. I mean, Felix is good. You got the youngsters, but they're not the Barcelona of old. So
they won the league last year, and we we beat them in the Europa League twice.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? I agree. I do agree.
And you got Bayern Munich in the German league, and Dortmund.
And that's it.
Dortmund once were the players they had anyway.
Yeah. Then again, Dortmund beat Newcastle at St James Park. When was it? 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, true.
Like you said, the French league is crap. It's got one team.
But to be fair, I only watch the Premier League, so.
But it is the most competitive league. You look at it now. Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool didn't make the Champions League, and I think if you put Liverpool in the Serie A, they win it. If you put Liverpool in the Spanish league, they win it. If you put Liverpool in the German league, they probably win it. I think they win every other league, and they didn't finish in the top 4.
Yeah, it could be a point. They could have a fair crack at all those leagues for sure.
They're in the Europa. They're going to smash the Europa, bro.
Can't say the same about Man United, but Liverpool.
No. Listen, I think they're going to smash you. I think Villa are going to win the one underneath, the Conference League. And if you look at, like I said, you always look at the competitions. City won the Champions League. An English team won the Conference League last year too. So it shows you that the English team are the...
Man United should have done better in the Europa League, by the way.
100%.
Yeah. Yes.
Chris C says, what about the A-League? And then Rob says, A-League, thanks, I needed a good laugh.
I've been going to the Adelaide United games. I quite enjoy going there. So.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing wrong with supporting Adelaide United, but the league is nowhere. It's where it would be in the world is...
Adelaide United got this killer youngster, Radakunda, and he's going to get snapped up somewhere, man. He'll get snapped up.
Yeah. No, he is a good player. That's true. But that was the last results. We'll go on the fixtures quickly, and the one game we'll touch on is because it is tonight. So we'll touch on it for the big man. Spurs versus Chelsea. It's actually at 7 a.m. or 6:30. It's a real good time to get up and watch it. It's at the ripper time in the morning.
My kids will get me up anyway, so...
There you go. So Spurs, Chelsea at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You've tipped Chelsea, you said. But
I've tipped Chelsea because I just feel like Tottenham their bubble's gonna burst, man. They've had a good start. I just can't see them maintaining this run. And even though I love Ange, but I feel like he's got a good starting 11, and after that, there's not much. You know what I mean? That's the problem. When Chelsea have obviously got depth, but you just don't know. They're gelling as a team yet. So look, Tottenham could come out and win this for sure, but I'm going with Chelsea for this one.
Well, I think the way you look at it, right? Like, if I'm being completely transparent, because I do not like either of those teams, and you know that I hate Chelsea and I hate Tottenham, as you know.
I hate Chelsea more, by the way.
I do hate Chelsea more. I agree. Chelsea, they're up there with City and Liverpool for me. I hate them. But if you be transparent about it and think in 5 years' time, Chelsea got a better chance of winning a Premier League than Tottenham.
Yeah.
Because their squad's massive. They've got so much money. Do you know what I mean? So Rob says Spurs defense are ready to have an awful game. But in saying that, I did say that. I don't actually like Romero too much. He's having a good year at Tottenham. But I really like that Dutch Mickey van der Ven, the centre-back. He's the real deal, man. I like him. Wait till we win the league. You will hate us more, Chris C says.
They win the league.
I wouldn't hate you more, but I just hate Tottenham. I hate them.
Look, I'd rather, if United can't win it, I'd rather Tottenham win it than City. So there you go.
Yeah, 100%. I'd rather Tottenham, Arsenal, or Newcastle win it out of the three that are up there than Liverpool or City. So
100%.
That's. But I don't know. Chris is so confident in it. The minute. You know what? Listen, I hope you stay top all year, Chris, because if they don't, when yous are not top, well, I don't know what you can be saying.
Where has Chris been the last few years of Tottenham?
Only Ange took him over and just loves them all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, yes, forever.
Listen, like you said, you want Ange to do well in that, but I'm sick of hearing this shit by the English media that Ange, Ian Wright said that Ange was a better manager than Ten Hag. And this is a guy that's played, international football, and he's going and saying comments like that. He was managing in Japan while Ten Hag was managing in a Champions League semi-final.
it's just, football's like that. You just read it how it is at the time. But, in a couple of weeks, Ange could have a few bad games in a row and Ten Hag has a few great games in a row. All of a sudden, Ten Hag's a better manager. You know what I mean?
I know, but
that's how
who makes a
fickle we
comment
are,
like that, bro? Who makes a comment like that, though? Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I don't turn around and go, Ten Hag's a better manager than Guardiola or Klopp. Because we know he's not. He hasn't proven it.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Rob says Diaz, Lewis, Bob, Foden, Gvardiol, Grealish, all on the bench last week. We got... yeah, they do. That's why City are going to win the league. Look at all those names he just said. Didn't play. That's why they'll win it. Australia coming third.
Is Nunes even playing for City? Is he getting a game?
Who?
Nunes, that midfielder they got.
No. Mateo Nunes. I haven't seen him. Saw him once. Yeah, I haven't seen him. Yeah, Nunes. That's right. Yeah. Oh, that's why I said who. I don't even know who you're talking about.
$50 million player. Never see him again.
Chris is laughing at your comment. He goes, "I've just been here waiting for the right time about Tottenham." And Zakal says Australia are third in the table in the Cricket World Cup. There you go. Hopefully they win it. But we'll touch on the fixtures a bit quickly. Let's just touch on them. We touch on that first one because that is it. But next week, it all starts off. So Spurs are having a bit of a short turnaround. They've got to play Tuesday, 7th of November. And then they're the opening game, Saturday, 11th of November at Wolves. Wolves versus Spurs.
I mean, not an easy game. But Wolves coming off that loss. We'll have to see. But, I like Tottenham for that game. I do.
Yeah, I'll listen, depending on what they do against against Chelsea in the morning, but I'd still probably going to go Tottenham. But like you said, that could be 2 losses there. We don't know. Yeah. Rob said Nunes came on. Phillips played 90 minutes for City. Has played 90 minutes for City for the whole season. That's all he's played. He started more games for England than City. It was the same with Maguire last year, Rob. He'd played 4 games for United and he'd played 7 or something for England. So Southgate is a moron, really. But the next night is Arsenal Burnley, Crystal Palace Everton, United Luton, Bournemouth Newcastle. What do you think of Arsenal Burnley, man?
I'm a fancy Arsenal there.
I think Arsenal will smash them. I'll bring them up again. And then Crystal Palace Everton. I think that's a tight game.
Look, Crystal Palace has got a good squad this year, or better squad than previous years, and I reckon they get a result again. Yeah,
I think I'm going to back them too because it's at home. And then United Luton. Luton coming off a huge draw for them. That's probably one of the biggest points in their history. Against Liverpool, that's massive. They're coming out, so they've played Liverpool 1 week at home, and now they're coming. So the 2 biggest teams in English football, they're playing 2 weeks in a row. That's a romance story for them, isn't it? Here's what it's all about for them. These players going to Old Trafford, that's going to be the biggest day of their lives.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If they can't enjoy that, they've come up from the Championship. This is what they've been thinking about, coming to Old Trafford and Anfield and places like that. So they'll be excited. They'll be up for it. They'll be busting their gut out there. And I don't think it's on paper, it looks easy for Man United, but I don't think it'll be that easy.
Now, I agree. Listen, if United get a good result against Copenhagen during the week, I think that spurs them on because they have a couple wins in a row. I think it will make it a bit more easier, but I'm tipping United in a tight one, 4-0. But no, I always tip United. I never tip against them. I can't believe you tipped Fulham. I'm flabbergasted.
We're allergic to the goals, man. So I don't know how we're getting forward.
Yeah, well, I said to you that touching on that before we keep going. I messaged John during the game when he came on. And I said, you know what? I think Ten Hag's either against Luton or Copenhagen has got to give Martial a start because Højlund. Listen, I love him, but he's frustrated because he's young, and the fact that he hasn't got the goal in the league yet. He's got 3 in the Champions League, which is good. But the fact that he hasn't got that goal yet, you can see it's playing on him. Just take him out. That's what the managers would do. Take him out of the limelight for a second. He might come off the bench and bag a goal instead, with his pace and stuff like that. So, listen, Martial's there and he's fit this year. I think rotate him. You know what I mean? Give him a go. But yeah, I don't know when that will be. Copenhagen is a big game. We got to win that away. Apparently, it's an AstroTurf.
We're out of the Champions League if we lose this one.
Exactly. And it's an AstroTurf pitch. And listen, I've played on them. They suck. Peter Schmeichel was talking about it the other day. They're really bad because he's obviously Danish. Listen, hopefully we don't get injuries from it, for one. That's the one thing. But yeah. The last game of that night, Bournemouth Newcastle. So Bournemouth have just been smacked by City, and now they've got to go to another top four. They got at home, but against another top 4 team.
Nah, Newcastle, they got a good mix of players, man. They're playing well, and I reckon they'll take the 3 points there.
It's funny though, with Newcastle, like even with them, I think later in the year they're going to struggle a bit because obviously they're the richest club in the world now, but they haven't gone out crazy, and their big summer signing is suspended for 10 months now, Tonali.
Mm.
So they've lost him. Are they going to buy someone in January just to cover him? I don't know, but yeah, they'll beat Bournemouth, I think. But yeah, that's interesting to see what happens with them. On to the next day, man. Aston Villa, Fulham, both teams coming off a loss. As we know, it's at Villa Park.
Villa at home. Villa at home.
You know, I think Villa are going to do them like good because at home they're like electric at home. I think they get a good result there.
Great Fulham at all against Man United. So, and we're playing really poor right now. So
yeah. You know, it was so funny. They're all going on saying that João Palhinha, you know, Bayern Munich wanted him. He's their catalyst. He's the one that had the shittest clearance right to Bruno and we scored.
Yeah.
Their best player, you know what I mean? So, but next one is Brighton at home, coming off a draw against Everton, against Sheffield United. Sheffield United coming off a win, but got to go to the Amex. That's a tough ask.
Brighton at home. Brighton at home.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that.
Mm.
Liverpool, Brentford, man, at Anfield. Brentford, as we know, they won at Stamford Bridge the other week. They won again at home the other night.
Yeah.
Anfield, can they win at Anfield?
I reckon Liverpool win here, but I think it'll be an exciting game. I reckon it'll be a lot of goals in this game.
I reckon if they can get their counter on like they do, you know, man, they got that Brian and Buemo. If he can run at Van Dijk's lost a bit of pace. If he can run at them, but then again, in turn, they're the same. Liverpool going the other way, they can hurt you on the counter too. So I actually think it'll be, like you said, a real good game to watch. It'll be for the neutral. It'll be a real good game. So, but yeah, I'm going to tip Liverpool as well. West Ham, Nottingham Forest. So West Ham coming off a loss, Forest coming off a good win against Villa, but they're going to the London. What's going on there? Your boy's going to win?
I'm going to sit on the fence with this one. Maybe a draw.
Maybe a draw. Zakal, we'll give a tip on that later, man. Don't worry. I'll bring that up in a second. Don't worry. Yeah, I don't know about that one. It's a tough game. You might be right, draw. I don't usually tip draws, but I might go West Ham. But the last game of the round, Chelsea at home against Man City.
Ooh. Jeez. I'm going to go Man City just because.
If Chelsea win against Tottenham tonight, I'm tipping Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's only if they win.
I hope Chelsea win. I hope Chelsea beat City, but I can't see it at the moment. But I'm going City. Rob
says Salah and Nunez's double miss was hilarious. It was funny. And because it got Luton points, it was funny. So Zakal was touched on another thing, man. I don't know if John can give you one, man. Zakal says Melbourne Cup tomorrow. Do we have a tip? Does anyone have a tip?
Do you know what? I haven't even looked at the field yet.
Neither have I.
Haven't even looked at the field yet. I
you know what?
What about it?
No, because I'll wait till I see my dad in the morning and ask him. I'll say, Baba, just tell me who we're betting on.
Yeah, I might go down and put some mystery bets on.
Yeah.
Geez, I completely forgot about that. Wow. All right. Well,
I'll just ask my dad in the morning. That's what I always do.
What's the hot tip? Has anyone got a hot tip in the chat about the Melbourne Cup tomorrow?
Listen, I usually ask my dad, and I haven't spoke to him this week, so I'll get my tip off him in the morning.
I've only ever won one Melbourne Cup, and that was Green Moon, I think it was. And he was paying about 15 to 1. I got a good return on that, but it's the only one.
Green Moon was a good one, yeah. Green Moon was a good one. Chris C says, I hope interest rates don't go up tomorrow. Why? Because the Melbourne Cup?
Well, they do it at the start of the month. Jeez. Let's hope not, my friends. Let's hope not.
And Rob, listen, if Rob is saying this, I think we're in trouble because Rob says Chris C rates are likely to rise tomorrow.
Oh, jeez.
So if Rob's saying that, I'm gonna say he's probably on point there. So, but it was good to have you back, Johnny. How was it being back after this long?
Yeah, good, man. Sorry about the start. I was in the wrong room and the kids were going crazy, man. So,
what can you do, man?
I had to sneak in here, and I don't think my son knows I'm in here. So.
Well, this is where the that you're going to be doing your shooting from anyway in future.
Yeah, got my PlayStation 5
I
ready
can
to
see
go.
it. I was going to say, I can see it in the back corner, ready to go.
TV's going on in here. This is going to be the room. So this is going to be the man cave.
That's it. So John will be back as much as he can, guys. I'll message him every week when he can, and he come on. We did it a bit earlier so he could come on, so we got it. If he can come on next week, we'll most likely try to get me, him, and Rob. Hopefully we can, because we haven't had three of us on the show yet this year, but it's going to happen. If not, it'll be me and Rob, I'm sure. But it was good. Any final thoughts?
No, great to be back. I've missed it for the last couple of months, and yeah, so big hello to the HFD family, and come on, Man United.
That's it. I'm with John. Come on, Man United. Thanks for watching, guys. Everyone that was here, Rob, Zakal, Dam, GT, Big Man, everyone that came in. If you're new, please like, share, subscribe. Even leave a comment. Go leave some comments, guys. Comments are really good for the algorithm. I know we're in the live chat, but go leave a comment on the video saying whatever. Leave a comment. But thanks for watching. See you on the next one.
Peace.